Transportation Managing Director Angela Klein and Deputy Managing Director and Director of Engineering Charlie Briner. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, good to have you here. It's been a while since you've been here. We've got a lot of catching up to do. Did you guys vote?
Not yet. I got to get there after work.
Rush back home.
Yeah, are you gonna
But
vote?
I am.
You are?
Yep.
Okay, good. Election day, everybody has to vote. And we have good roads to get us to the polling place.
I hope so.
Right. Well, let's talk, well, I know we've got a few things to talk about, but let's talk about 2024 construction season. Are we done? Is it over yet?
Pretty much.
We're winding down. We've got some paving left to do on County Farm and Pulaski Road in the next couple of weeks, but that'll wind down some of our major projects that we have this year.
This is a map of everything that's happened in 2024.
Yeah.
And with those last few items, are we at 100% completion for your plan?
Yeah, we'll have some cleanup that we'll have to do on some of the projects, but as far as construction and delaying the residents with any traffic, we'll be closed. Have it all wrapped up. Yep.
So people might not be able to read the
No.
key. What's the green?
So the green, those are projects that were funded by safety grants.
Okay.
Yep. So some of those were chip seal projects, sign projects, pavement markings. We also had the roundabout project that was funded by safety grants as well.
Now, chip seal, we don't hear that as much as we used to. Is it?
You'll see it more.
Really?
Yes, because it is the cheapest maintenance activity we can do for our projects. There was a big push to pave roads, but because of our funding dwindling down, we have to maintain our 1,600 miles the best we can, so you'll see chip seal more and more.
Has the technology improved?
No.
No.
Same process, different stone. We use different stones and emulsions sometimes, depending on the traffic volumes, but same procedure since I came into industry in 2004. So.
And it's called chip seal because the stones chip your windshield.
No. We have changed stones so you don't get chipped windshields.
Okay.
But yes, we used to have a lot of insurance claims, but I don't think I've had to deal with one in the 6 years I've been
not for
in
chip
Jackson.
seal.
So.
Now, paving is tricky this time of year because the temperature is critical. What is the I guess the coolest, the lowest temperature that you can pave a road in?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. It's around 50 degrees, I believe.
So.
But it's also depending on what you're paving on top of. Are you paving on existing ground? Or are you paving on top of existing asphalt? Or are you paving on asphalt that was just placed earlier that day? So there's a lot of factors that come into play when we look at that stuff.
And if it doesn't, if you, for some reason, it gets colder than you anticipated, does something happen to the pavement? Does it just not last as long? What's the?
Usually there's a lot of conversations with the contractor. Are they going to stand behind that product even though that we're out of spec? So it's a risk that we'll have to discuss before moving
It's
forward.
performance. So contractors typically, unless we can get them to waive that they'll stand behind their product, we don't want to pave.
And there's a certain point where the asphalt plant shuts down for
Yep.
the year too, right?
Usually Thanksgiving, but
Have we had, it's been so warm and mild and dry, has this helped your construction season?
Yeah, there's a lot less rain delays for contractors are able to work the grades a lot longer and not have to deal with washouts and go out there and try to complete that. So
Do you do your own work? You have a mix of contractors and some that you do, or is it all contractors?
so the primary road work typically is contractors because that's usually our grant projects. So that's bid out through MDOT. Our local road work is a mix. We do most of the work, and then we'll have a contractor pave typically. But
Let's look at the map again.
Yeah.
When you compare what 2024 has been like, how does that compare with past years? Is it more, less?
So this year we did 60 miles of local road and 15 miles of primary, which added up to about $9 million worth of work. That's pretty typical. for
Mhm.
our last couple of years, maybe a little bit down because we're winding down on Blackman. The millage for Blackman Township next year will be the last year we do any roads there will be completed. But it's pretty typical.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Blackman Millage and the Napoleon Millage in just a moment. But when you look at communities that have had that partnership, like Spring Arbor, Summit, it's amazing how much has changed.
Yep.
The community, it is pretty much 100% the roads have had some work.
Yeah, it's a facelift to the community,
Yeah.
and you see people take pride in their neighborhoods once we've done that type of local road project through their neighborhood. It's
Yeah.
neat to see.
It is, great
It makes
job.
it self-rewarding.
Mhm.
Oh, you mentioned a roundabout. We've got more and more roundabouts. You like them.
We do.
From a safety standpoint.
Yep.
Explain that. Explain how a roundabout is safer than a 90-degree intersection.
So what's really trying to do is try to get traffic to really slow down to a slower speed. A lot of these intersections, you have cars that are traveling 45, 55 miles an hour. And it's trying to get those people to slow down to 25 to 15 miles an hour, be a little bit more observant of their surroundings, and then when they enter the intersection, they have more time to react to other drivers. So if there is a collision that happens in the roundabout, usually it's very minor, usually just resulting in property damage.
And it's not a head-on thing because it's
Right.
people sideswiping. All right, let's
Yeah.
take a look at the Minard Mills roundabout, which people have said, wow, you know, it's such a rural area. Why, since roundabouts are designed to move heavy traffic, why did we have a roundabout in such a rural area?
I think one of the biggest things was the geometrics, the way the roads come together. It's not like a typical intersection where they come together at a 90-degree. One's very heavily skewed, so that also made it difficult for drivers to maneuver through that intersection. And plus, working with the Parks Department, they were very interested in working with us, thinking that this would also reduce the speeds for people driving around the park as well, because that's been a big complaint with people not utilizing a portion of the park because of the high
Really?
risk drivers out there. So they're able to utilize more of their park area.
But that was built with safety funds, so it did have a crash frequency there that we were able to get safety funds for. So a lot of people said there was no accidents out there, so why are we building it? There were. So it did increase the safety for the motoring public through there.
And one place where we did have a lot of accidents was the Deering Road, McCain Road,
Yep.
including fatalities. I don't know anyone that hasn't been pleased that that has become a roundabout intersection.
Yeah, and I've only heard of one situation where someone drove through the middle of it, but they slid through and there was no damage done. So,
They're designed to absorb people coming up on the top of it, right?
Yep.
yeah.
I think there are still people that don't know how to do the roundabout.
Yeah.
Some people don't know when to stop or when to yield, or it's a learning curve for a
Yeah.
lot of people. But as more and more roundabouts get entered into the community, people will start to get more familiar with it. So this was our third roundabout that JCDOT designed and constructed within our network.
Do you have any more? I've got some suggestions.
Give them to us. We'll look at them.
Well, there's one, Horton and Springbrook, and, right?
So we have safety funding for that. We're just going through some preservation clearances with that because there was a
Old blacksmith shop out there, so we had to pay archaeologists to go out there and do some studies and stuff. So just it slowed that process down significantly.
so to be determined if we get to build it.
Nice.
But
I'm
yes,
glad I'm on the same wavelength.
I
as
am
you.
too.
Yeah. And are there others?
that is the only one we have funding for right
Currently,
now.
yep.
And I don't think we have any on the radar for submittals right now. But we look at our crash intersection crash data every year and look what warrants the roundabout.
Do you know what is the most dangerous or most crash-prone intersection in Jackson County?
You probably do too.
Yep.
Take a guess.
Well, I would give two answers. One would be is it in the city of Jackson?
No, so
No.
county jurisdiction.
Well, the city, you know, Angela, the city is in the county.
I know, but we don't have any jurisdiction over there, so county one.
All right, Airport Road and County Farm Road? Airport
No.
Road 994? Airport Road and Meyer? Airport Road and
So actually,
Close.
Boardman?
yep, Boardman.
There you go.
Yeah.
Airport and County Farm Road, we just put in a new mast arm signal there. And then Airport and Myers, that intersection, we're putting up a new signal actually in the next 2 months. So we'll be getting that one addressed. So yeah, it leaves that Boardman and Airport Road intersection. So we're going to be trying to modernize that signal in the next year. But we're very limited on what we can do out there.
And I think that's the problem. You look at that, and how do you fix it? It's almost not fixable.
Well, we'll be looking at putting dual left turns out of O'Neill to help, because we're aware that there's a lot of traffic that sits there that wants to turn left out of there. So we're trying to improve that. We've worked closely with MDOT and the different agencies to make sure whatever we do, we'll work with their future plans too for the bridge there. So.
All right, so we talked about Blackman Millage, Road Millage coming to an end.
Yep.
And today on the ballot is one for Napoleon.
Yep. So that's a pay-as-you-go, where Blackman was all of their local roads. But Napoleon has out for their voters to vote on to do rehab for 1.5 mils. So they'll just be, for 6 years, they'll pick local roads to do. It's not all of them. The township will work with us if it's passed and rehab their roads. I think it will take 10 years to get through if they continue
10 to 12 years.
10 to 12 years to get through all their roads that way.
Wow.
But it's something. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, and they've identified, so they probably have a list with
Yeah.
the one most severe at the top. I can't imagine what that is.
So it's not always the worst road first.
No?
No, because if it's the worst road, then it's going to stay the worst road. You can't really do much to save it. So you have roads that are in decent condition that you want to do something to keep them from going to the worst road.
So you just want to walk away from it? It's just
Well,
shut
you've
it down.
got to do something at some point, but it's a lot cheaper to, say, chip seal a road. You know, that's $23,000 a mile.
Have you ever gone from paved roads that have just deteriorated to just, let's turn it back to dirt?
Like Jackson.
No, in Jackson we haven't. There are counties that are doing that
Wow.
because they're so bad, and there's not funding to do anything to them. You know, we can patch them and patch them and patch them, but we need support from townships to do that.
All right, winter is coming. What do you think? Have you ordered a lot of salt?
We have salt in our barns. We're ready for it to come, but I really hope it's a mild winter.
Last year we hardly had any snow.
Yes. No, we didn't.
Do you have salt left over from last year?
We had salt, but we've ordered more salt.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're ready for it, but I really hope it waits till next year.
Is this
for
your,
sure. That's a picture from last year. One of the, Mother Nature likes to snow at night when our people are at home and we have to call them in on overtime, and it's more expensive. But yep, that was just one of our trucks loading up last year during one of the storms.
do you have your snow plows painted with cute designs or anything?
So we have some front plows painted, but we don't use front plows much. It's our belly blades is what we use. So it's only a really heavy storm that we would use a front plow. So no, we don't use the cute ones.
Do you name the plows? Do they have names?
I mean, our drivers might, but
Yeah, they might have
not
nicknames
mine.
for them probably.
Mr. Plow, I think.
Wow.
Mr. Plow on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Mailboxes. I think there are a lot of people that have mailboxes too close to the street. Am I right?
So, well, it's a double-edged sword.
Oh.
If they're not by the street, then the mail carrier has to drive off, and then we have that rutting on the side of the road. So They're supposed to be installed to the post office standards, period. We don't dictate where they go, the mail delivery carrier does. But yeah,
What's Shake Your Mailbox Day?
we urge everyone to get out there and shake their mailbox. And if it's starting to rattle or things are coming undone, get it fixed up, because our plows, when they go through and the snow comes off the plow, the belly blade, it will knock those mailboxes over. And it's not liked, but we don't replace mailboxes. The only time we replace mailboxes is if we actually physically hit them. So to save headaches in the winter, check your mailbox now and get it fixed up.
Take a baseball bat and just take a swing. No.
No, just shake it.
Just grab
Shake
and
it.
shake it.
But
Okay.
yep, that force of snow will knock them down if they're loose.
Not even hitting them, just the snow blowback
Yeah.
would knock them down.
And it does a lot.
Yeah.
So shake it.
Is there a new law for snow plows?
There is, I think it was June it went into effect. Basically, you need to give us 200 feet when driving down the road. At a stop sign, it's 20 feet.
I always laugh when I see it, and it's often someone pass a snowplow.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, if they're plowing, they're making the road clear and safe.
yeah,
I'd stay behind the guy. Maybe it'll be a few minutes, but
right,
yeah.
yeah. They're eager to get somewhere, I suppose. But
Should you pass? It says.
so the 200 foot does not apply for passing. You are allowed to pass, but they're trying, basically, our snowplow drivers, they have to back up and clean up things. And a lot of people follow right on their bumper and they don't see them. They have a lot of different gauges and things going on in their cab. When you get right behind them, our lights are on, we start to back up, they can't see you. We back into a lot of people.
And if you're so close behind the snowplow, you can't see either.
Right, yeah.
Right.
So the law was passed to hopefully eliminate a lot of those backup accidents. So give us 200 feet so we can do what we need to do and keep them safe.
Awesome. Well, you guys do a great job. Thanks for all the work you've done in the 2024 season. Hope you all have a safe winter, and we'll have you back and look at what you guys have planned for 2025.
Sure,
Yep.
would love to.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Angie
you.
Klein, Managing Director of JCDOT, along with Deputy Managing Director and Director of Engineering, Charlie Briner.